And hello YouTube, this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'm today with a brand new video for Gaming with GS. Today I want to talk to you guys about Hearthstone, and we're going to be showing you a tempo mage deck. It's really cool. I've been having success with it. I got to rank 20. I didn't really play much on the new deck because school kind of got in the way, and I was doing other videos, but for the most part, this mage deck is pretty good. This is actually the first time that I got to 19. This is the first time that I actually finished one of these seasons, so it's pretty cool. 10 dust, this card back, and what is this? I can't see it. Oh, I guess I have to check. But your rank from last season earned you 6 bonus stars. Oh, okay, cool. So anyway, if we take a look at my deck here. Now, this deck that I have, it only takes about 1,000 dust to craft, so it doesn't take much dust at all. Which surprised me actually, because I only had to disenchant a few cards and I had 1,000. So if you're looking to play Mage for ranked, and you sort of have an idea of how to play Mage already, then I think this would be a pretty good deck for you. So here we go, I named it Dust Deck. But essentially what we have here are lots of spells. It focuses heavily around spells and trying to, you know, overwhelm the opponent with fast damage and killing them quickly. So let me just go over the core. The core is Mana Worm here. 2 of these. This is a core right here, and Sorcerer's Apprentice. These 4 cards, I have 2 of each. These 4 cards are pretty much the core of your deck. Mainly because we have a lot of spells, so the Sorcerer's Apprentice will reduce the cost. If you have 2 of them out, it'll reduce it by 2. And Mana Worm, getting that on the first turn, makes the game really easy. You could stack spells upon this, and it just makes it such a really good card to have on the first turn even. And it's hard to clear. So yeah. But essentially, we have Arcane Missiles because it's great. It's great for clearing. If you don't really have anything to attack with and you want to clear something, this is good. Ice Lance is mainly here because we have Water Elemental. So if something is frozen, we can deal more damage to it. And mainly because of Snow Chugger. And once again, these will freeze things, and then we can actually, and Frostbolt even also, and then we can actually use Ice Lance to deal 4 damage. So it's a lot of damage for just 1 mana if someone's already frozen. So what I tend to do is I tend to keep my Frostbolts and my Fireballs until I really need to use them, like to the very end, because if you have a Fireball that's 6 damage, plus a Frostbolt that's 3 damage, that's 9 damage, plus a 4 from Ice Lance, that's 13 damage. You can do 13 damage in 1 round if you have these cards, if you save these cards. So many times you can end the game in, you know, maybe 2 or 3 attack rounds. Obviously late game because you don't have a lot of mana. Early game to cast all the spells. But yeah. Anyway, Mirror Image, really great for either protecting your Mana Worm or protecting your gnomes here. The gnomes are especially really good because even if they get killed, they still do damage to your opponent. So they're guaranteed damage, and protecting them with Mirror Image or protecting Mana Worm with Mirror Image, or even protecting Sorcerer's Apprentice with Mirror Image is always good. I would never play Mirror Image if I don't have this Mana Worm, the Gnome, or a Sorcerer's Apprentice up. Or if I don't have Knife Juggler up, then it's really useless to have Mirror Image up. So you want to use this to protect your good cards. Mana Worm, obviously whenever you cast a spell, gains +1 attack, so we have tons of spells here. This synergizes really well with our deck. And 2 of those. Then Frostbolt, just another spell, and it synergizes well with Ice Lance, which is also another spell. And since we don't have any taunts in this deck, The enemy is our weakness basically is taunts. Our weakness is taunts because we don't have any polymorphs. And because we don't have any polymorphs, sometimes we may be forced to use fireballs. We don't want to use fireballs, and we certainly don't want to use frostbolt in combination with ice lance to clear minions that are hard to get rid of or to clear taunts. So how do we clear taunts? Well, with the Ironbeak Owl. It silences, so whenever there's a tough taunt on the board, you can silence it, and you can either ignore it and just continue attacking the enemy, or you can kill it with some of your other minions. But I usually use this whenever I just want to ignore a taunt and I just want to keep, hitting the enemy and force them to either get rid of it by hitting my minions. So it's really good to have this, especially since, we don't have many clears. I mean, you have Fireball, and you have Frostball, and you have Iceland, but you want to keep that, to kill the enemy. You want to hit the hero with that. Knife Juggler is really good if you have it early on as well, because for every minion you put on the board, it does damage to a random enemy. And if you have this card on like turn 4, and you put it out, and you put a mirror image, and then you put a gnome, you're doing 2 damage there that round, and then they still won't be able to kill your Knife Juggler because of the mirror images. And then next round you put Mana Worm, say, or another gnome, that's more damage out. So it's great to have Knife Juggler early on. A really good card. And this one is one of the rarer ones, so it's not the rarest one, but it's one of the more rare ones that we have in the deck here. But definitely invest in this because it's a really good card. Snow Chugger, just really good to give us some more freezes. It's especially well mainly because we want to kind of ignore the minions on the board. I mean, if we can clear the minions safely, then we want to do it. But the way I use Snow Chuggers is if I'm trying to stall for time, if I need a few more mana crystals and the enemy puts out a hard hitting minion, and I don't want to give up my minions because I need my minions on the board to deal that extra damage to kill. For example, if the enemy has, say, 12 health left and I only have 1 fireball, and say I have an attack 4 on the board, say I have what's an attack 4? Do I have an attack 4 in my deck here? Say I have this on the board and the enemy has like a really tough monster. I don't want to have to deal with having that monster hit me and then needing to heal, which we don't have any heals even, or needing to clear the board because otherwise he'd kill me. So an easy way to stall for time is to use Snow Chuggers, and it basically freezes the minion and you can stall for time, cast your spells, kill him before he kills you. Or this is also really good if you're playing against a warrior or a rogue, because they basically can't use any of their weapons, and weapons are a big part of their kit. So you can do tons of damage and basically eliminate a lot of their playstyle because of these Snow Chuggers. And not to mention they also synergize well with Ice Lance. Sorcerer Apprentice obviously mainly just there so we can cast more spells quicker. And because we have a lot of spells in our hand, and as you can see, the mana curve on this deck is very low. We don't have a lot of cards that cost a lot of mana, so you're going to be running out of cards very frequently. So you want to have some way to draw for cards. So having 2 intellects is good, and then having a GVs is good. There's a really good card right here. And once again, it's one of the rare ones in our deck, so you may want to invest some dust in this one. It's really good to use, but we'll get there. So having some draw cards is good. This is a really good one. It's basically a charge. It's much better than the Wolf Rider. And we only have 1 of them, mainly because we want to have 1 Water Elemental. Because Water Elementals has 6 health. It's a really tough monster. And once again, it freezes, so we can stall for time. We can have synergy with Ice Lance. And it's a really good shield, basically, sort of. If the enemy doesn't destroy it, then we can still attack and do 3 damage. So it's a decent card. So we only have 1 of these, that's why, but this is a great one because it does 4 damage and it has charge, and you can't just get rid of it like you can get rid of Wolf Rider. Essentially, this is an upgrade of Wolf Rider because it costs the same and you're doing more damage and you gain more health. The only downside is you give a mana crystal, but more likely than not, the enemy's going to be aiming for this because they know that it's going to hurt. 4 damage every round is a good amount, especially if you don't have to use any mana crystals every round. So this has always saved my life a few times. Wolf Rider is obviously the clear, but essentially these charge cards are mainly just used to clear the board. If you see something that's hard to get rid of, if you see something that's threatening, then don't use your fireballs, don't use your frostbolts and ice lances, use these charges. We have these charge minis to clear the board if we need to. Fireball, obviously, save it for emergencies if you need to clear something and there's no other way. Other than that, I would highly recommend you keep them for, the last few rounds. You can do 12 damage if you have 2 of them in your hand, which is a huge amount to take down in one turn. And I've already gone over GVs, really good for if you're running out of cards. It'll always make sure you have 3 cards in your hands. The only thing you need to be aware of is that this also happens to your enemy. They'll also only have 3 cards in their hands if they have nothing. So they can draw basically too. This affects the enemy too, so be aware of that if you're going to be using this card to draw, the enemy is going to be drawing as well. So I would only play this, if you have an option to play Intellect or GVs, I would play Intellect. Unless the enemy has a lot of cards, then I guess you could play this. But this makes sure that you have a consistent amount of cards in your hand, because we do have a lot of spells that basically make our hand empty really quickly. And I already got over Water Elemental. So that's my deck. If you have any suggestions, definitely leave in the comment section below, because I'm not an expert at the game, and I would love to get some suggestions and make it better perhaps. But I think this is a fairly solid deck. Now we're gonna play maybe a round or two. I've honestly haven't played this game in quite some time, as you've seen that I've just got my rewards for last season today. So I may be a bit rusty, but hopefully you'll see the power of this deck. I'm skeptical to go into casual, because I feel like lots of people are going to be testing out new decks and we're probably going to get wrecked. So we're going to do ranked. Hopefully we get some noobs or some people who don't have stacked legendaries and epics in their deck. Now I would say it's almost ideal for you to either have Mana Worm or Knife Juggler in your hand for first round. Now priests are annoying because they kind of counter us. If you don't have a Knife Juggler, or if you don't have, say, one of those gnomes, or if you don't have a Mana Worm in your hand, just discard your entire hand, because you want to have those early strong cards in your hand. Let's see if we can get them. Nothing great either. So sometimes you'll get unlucky. Sometimes it can be hard to win with a terrible hand, but I think the deck that we have is extremely important to, have the cards we need early on. I think that's with every Tempo Mage deck. It's important that you have the cards early on that you need. Can't really do much. I'm not really going to try to do anything, so we're just going to go ahead and pass.
Hello.
And we'll see what the priest does. Healing me. Doesn't really get him anything. So, I mean, I guess we could bring out Snow Chugger because, well, it doesn't really make a difference. We have nothing else to bring out, so may as well, I guess. Nothing else really we can do. Now the priest probably has, I forget what they're called, but it basically removes like a minion that has like attack of 3 or more, or 3 or higher, or 5 or higher. I forget the numbers. The magic number is 4 though. So here we go. We got Mana Worm, which is great. And what we're gonna do now is check this out. So that'll give us 1. We'll be down to 2. So check this out. We're gonna do this, and then this counts as a spell. So that's gonna give us +1, and then Arcane Intellect is gonna give us +1 as well. And if we can get a mirror image, no mirror image, that sucks. We want to protect this. So sadly, no mirror image, but we'll see what he does. He's frozen right now. We can get Knife Juggler out next, and then probably if he puts a taunt, we can get the owl out. There it is. There's a taunt. Okay, perfect. Exactly. It's exactly what I was expecting. No surprise there. So let's go ahead and bring out the Knife Juggler, which will give us 2, and then let's bring out the owl, which will silence that. Always make sure you bring the Knife Juggler out first, because you want to have that extra damage like that. So that'll be good. Now, this can be threatening because it has 3 attack. It can get rid of this. However, is it worth to freeze this? I think it's worth to freeze this, is it? Because he's gonna kill one of these next round. I don't want him to. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this to freeze him, so he can't kill my mana worm next round, and we can continue to do damage. And we'll see what he does. Now here's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to stall. I'm trying to stall so my main stay alive as long as possible. Another taunt. And deal 2 damage. Okay. That's a good play, I guess. So here's the issue that we have now. We have a taunt here, and we have nothing really to get rid of it with. So, do I want to use a fireball on it? That is the question. Yeah, I'd say let's use a fireball on it because it's gonna annoy me. It sucks that we can't clear it any other way. And this has 3 damage, so what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna freeze this so he can't kill next round again. And that will give us an extra damage on our mana worm. And you see, we're just trying to stall. I'm just trying to stall so he can't kill the mana worm. He's forced to use another higher card. He's probably that's what I expected. Yep. That's an annoying card. And what's this do? Cost 2 less. Okay, so at this point, what we want to do sort of is we want to clear this. And I guess we could do that with this and that. And that will give us 4. We have 6 remaining. We can probably bring out that, which is fine. We'll clear that. We'll clear this. And then we'll bring out the gnome. And we'll continue to hit. He's down to 15. Now if I can get a fireball and another ice lance, I think we can win already. So let's see if we can get a fireball. Because then I can bring out this. So let's see. Of course, a legendary. I'm not surprised. Okay, no fireball, which kind of sucks, but now what's gonna happen here is we're gonna run out of cards, so I'm gonna have to play this. That's gonna be 4, and I can probably play these 2, and that'll give us more cards. So let's go ahead and play that. Let's play that, and let's play that, and then he's gonna kill one of these anyway. So there's no point to attack. That's not gonna kill. So I'm just gonna go attack. And he has enough cards, so it's not gonna affect him. It's only gonna be positive for me. So here we go. We can do 7 damage right here. 7 damage. That'll bring him down to 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So yeah, we can actually probably kill if he doesn't heal himself for too much. Let's see what happens. We can possibly kill. Sorry about that, Windows 10 being stupid. Okay, so he clears that. And he clears that. So 15. 15, what can we do here? Let's see. If we do this, that'll give us 3 damage. Plus, that's 7 damage. 7 damage plus 3, that's 10 damage. Plus 3, that's 13 damage. We're not gonna have enough. We're barely gonna be... Ah, this sucks, you see? This really sucks. We needed a fireball. We needed a fireball or something. Let's go ahead and... Can he kill me next round? He can't. He can't kill me next round, so... However, if he kills my gnome now, next round we can kill. If he kills my gnome, he kills himself. And what do we get? What do we get? Frostbow. Okay, there's no way he can heal himself completely up. Unless he has like a legendary or epic card. He can't even kill me either. Because he doesn't have enough damage on the board. 6, 9... Oh, that was a fairly good play. Because it did kill all my minions, didn't it? However, he doesn't know that I have this card. He has 3 health remaining, no? Can this kill me? Let's see, let's see, let's see. I can possibly kill, I can possibly kill. Unless he kills me first. I don't think he has enough damage. Does he have enough damage? What's this do? Look all these legendaries people play. Whenever your target hits this minion... Okay guys, we won! With no legendaries even. Ha! I love it when people love to play their damn legendaries and damn epics and I'm sitting here with nothing and I'm still winning. Like, come on, you don't need legendaries to win. There we go. So... kind of that was kind of risky at the end there, but you see how the early build up on the mana worm really helped us. The early build up on the mana worm helped us, and you know, having all those spells to really build that up and having those spells to do a lot of damage. We had to use a fireball on one of the minions to get rid of it, and you see how we stalled with the ice. That's kind of how you want to do it. Game could have gone a lot better for us. We didn't have the perfect hand, obviously, but I think we played fairly well against a priest, and I think we did fairly good. So hopefully you see how the dex kind of works. You know, I don't know if it demonstrates it completely, because I've had better games where, you know, you can really see how you can build up your mana worm even more, and how Sorcerer Apprentice can come into play and like reduce all the mana costs of your spells, and it's crazy. So, but I think it did a pretty good job. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something. Like I said, if you have any suggestions, definitely in the comment section below. I read all the comments and reply to them as well. So thank you for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video helped you out in any way. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It'll really help me out. If you didn't like it, you can leave a comment below as well and give some feedback. If you have any other comments or questions, please leave them in the comments as well. And I usually try my best to answer those comments within the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on how busy I am. I also have plenty of other content on my channel about different gaming tutorials, as well as general gaming videos for Guild Wars 2, League of Legends, Minecraft, and any others that you may be interested in. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, check it out. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe too. Would really appreciate it. You can also check out my other channels and social medias as shown on the screen right now. And with that, thank you so much, everyone. And this is GSmaniamsmart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.